Hi, my name's Gary Williams. I'm the basketball coach at the University of Maryland. Today we're going to talk on the flex offense. The flex is an offense that's constantly changing. It's been a great way to run the offense for us in terms of keeping control of our offense, getting good shots, and getting the ball inside. So we really believe in it, and I think that's the most important thing you can do with any offense. I think all of us as coaches, you get your players, we can recruit, so sometimes we can have an easier job of getting players to fit into what we want to do. But I've always believed offensively you have to have a basic system that you have and you're going to have each year and that you're really confident in teaching. In other words, I think we all do the same. We go to clinics, we hear some speakers speak, they have great plays, they look good. But when it comes time to practice in October for us, you have your security blanket of things that you like to do with your offense. And I think that's really important because the first day of practice, we try to put in some things that we feel we can use all year, and we put it in a five-man basis. In other words, we'll break down after we let the players see our basic stuff, especially in our man offense. And then we'll go back and drill it and work on it. But the more days that you can get into a five-man situation, the better you're going to be when it comes time to run your offense. And sometimes at the start of the year, for us that's late November and December, you can steal some games because you're a little better running your offense than the other teams are that might have approached it a little differently. I've always felt that. And what that does, they might catch you. They might have better players as the year goes on, but playing them early in the season, you might get some wins by going into a five-man situation and practice a little quicker than some teams. So I got that from Tom Davis, who coached at BC and Iowa, Stanford. Now he's the head coach at Drake. He's back coaching again. And I think that's a great way to approach things. So we try to keep it simple. We don't make it too complicated, but we ask our players to execute very well. And you know how it goes at the end of the game. You get down to the last couple minutes, you better be able to execute your half-court offense. We press, we like to run, but every game that's close comes down to the ability to run your offense, get to the free throw line, make your free throws, that type of thing. So the first thing we're looking for in our offense, our man offense, is the ability to get the ball inside. If you can't get the ball inside, then we can play you. For instance, Duke, we played Duke 3 times this year. Their difference this year in their team was their ability to get the ball to Williams, their big post player inside. That forced you not to be able to get out as hard on Riddick, as hard on Ewing. It made Duhon a tougher player because when he drove, he could drop the ball off to a guy like Williams. And so they were much tougher to play this year because of the inside game, their ability to get the ball inside. And so for all the three-point shooting you see and things like that, the teams that are really good, Connecticut with Okafor, Syracuse able to get the ball into Warwick, for instance, all those teams had that ability to go inside with the basketball. So we really look at that closely every year and try to figure out how we can get the ball inside. So I'm a big believer in getting players that can pass the basketball. In 2002, when we won the national championship, we went into the NCAA tournament, the 64 teams. We had the most assists of any team in the tournament going into the NCAA tournament. And this year, we weren't as good passing team. We got better as the year went on, but we had a lot of guys who were really good at putting the ball on the floor and being able to penetrate. But when the defense came in, and really helped, it presented a problem for us. We didn't have the ability to get the ball inside as well as we would have liked. Now, we had young inside players, and they didn't always finish when they did get the ball, so it was kind of a two-way street there in terms of, I'll throw it inside, but if that guy's going to turn it over when I throw it inside, why should I turn it over? Then the big guys would get upset because they didn't get the ball. then I get pissed off, and then we'd have a good time at practice that day. That was really good those days. All right, the first thing we're going to do is try to space the court. This becomes very important. A lot of times, oh, by the way, you see this court here? You see where these, like guys sitting, their feet are out on the floor? This is what you get when you play at Duke. Okay, so I'm very comfortable. I'm very comfortable with this. This is very comfortable, okay? Here's what happens when you're at Duke, okay, you're coaching, you're over here, and you take a step out like this, and the referee says, get back in the box. There's no place to go. Where are you going to go? I mean, and that's how it is there, okay? And I think the court's a little short and a little narrow. It's an illegal court. So all their wins, they really don't count. See? Okay, need a two-man front. Let's get two guards. Keep the ball right there. Need a guy over here. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now 12 to 15 feet, right about here. That's good right there. You want to just be up in an angle. Just get on top of the block there. That's great. Out to the three-point line on the same angle he is. Okay, so this is how we teach it. We put a bisecting line down the middle of the court. In other words, we split the court for the players. That's a great idea in practice, I think, for your defenses and for your offenses. Just put a dotted line down the middle of the court the first couple of weeks of practice. It just, when you talk about ball side or help side, it's a little easier to read that. And so here's our spacing. This guy's got the ball. Here's the basic play, okay? Guard-to-guard pass. We always want to be able to make the guard-to-guard pass. If you're overplayed, okay, if I turn the pass to you and I can't make the pass, backdoor cut, replace, out to his position. See, we always feel we have that ability. If you have the ball, you want to pass to me, I'm being overplayed with this type of spacing, backdoor cut, replace me, okay? I bounce out to here and all that. Anytime, okay, come on, let me take, go ahead back there again. Okay, come on over here. Okay, you guard me. Okay, okay, backdoor cut, play me. Okay, come on over, switch. Anytime there's a switch, you always have that opportunity right there. Anytime they switch on the perimeter like that, if you set a screen, kind of, or just even exchanging, if you just roll back to the ball, you got a chance to get it. So anytime a team overplays us, we tell our players that it's an advantage to us because, you can get the backdoor, you can do whatever, but anytime they're extended, it really opens up the court inside for us, rather than against a sagging defense. So we'll take an overplay situation, and obviously if I have the ball here and that guy's being overplayed, I can always drive the ball into the middle because it's very difficult to overplay and help on the drive. Same thing from here. If my guy wants to overplay me here, you've got that drive in there that's really good. Anytime, drive the basketball, the inside player, number one, okay? In other words, I drive from here, from this position, I drive it in here, the inside player just fades a little bit to the baseline and puts pressure on his man, whether to help or stay. If he stays, I've got the shot. If he helps, I've got to get him the basketball. And that's what we didn't do a good job of early in the year. We weren't a great passing team when we took it in there. In our league, Duhan, the guard from Duke, was probably the best at that. He could really do that well. He'd read that very well. So, we have things we can do within the offense to help us. If they overplay, we'll show what we do if they sag against us, that type of thing. What you're doing there, this is always the strong side of the court. The ball side should always have three guys on that side of the court. Okay, they should always have three guys on that side of the court. So we've got our triangle right here. In other words, as I come in, if we catch the defensive player on the inside, on the lane side of that player posting up there, that pass is available, especially if they're overplaying that guy. If we throw it to here, he immediately looks inside, baseline side. We throw this pass all the time. We like this pass. That's what happens, see? That's good. You lose? Yeah. No, you're not. No. See, that pass there is away from the defensive player. Defensive player is usually on that high side when the guy's that low, so I'm going to throw it where you have to move to get the basketball. Okay? He's got to move a little bit to get it. He catches it, and he reads the defense and tries to score. Anytime the ball enters the post, okay, I made that entry pass in there, ball enters the post, my job is to get my man away from you so he can't help on you. So I'm going to go up, set the screen, come on down here. We need a guy down here. That's the easiest outlet pass in case they double team him, okay? Once again, keep the ball there. Come on back here. I set the screen. My man switches their help. I'm coming in here looking for it, trying to score, that type of thing. So anytime the ball goes inside, we're going to move. You guys in the offside, the ball goes inside. A lot of times that flash cut right down there is great. Come up behind him in case your guy gets in there to help. You might have an open three right there in the three-point line. So you've got to move when the ball goes inside. In other words, that's one thing to get the ball into our inside player, but the next thing is, can we get open? Can we score? Are we going to let them double team him where he can't score? You got to make him pay. And so you've got to get moving anytime the ball goes inside. So the ball was here. We gave it a look. He wasn't open. Now we get it to the other guard. Now, in the flex offense, if you want to call it the flex, we don't call it the flex, but a lot of people do, so that's fine. I knew we were doing some things when teams started to run this year. We saw more of it against teams we played. Some of those suckers ran it better than we did, so that's never good. But anyway, on this guard-to-guard pass now, just throw the ball over to that guy. On that pass, you want to make sure you're out where you are to try to draw your man out. Now, sometimes they'll stay in there, and sag if you can't shoot. Can you shoot? That's what happens. See? So on that pass, when the ball's in the air, from guard to guard, ball's in the air, you just step up and set a screen. Okay, I'm playing him. On that pass now, stay there, wait, give the ball back here. Okay, get back down to the post. Okay, on that pass, a good defensive player a lot of times will do this. So the screen has to be in here somewhere, like right here. Yeah, just get me right there. So that now, while the ball's in the air, you're making your cut and you're cutting hard. Just a straight cut, go ahead. And what you want to do is look here for the first pass, look here, and then if you don't get it, is get up to here and really try to position that guy so that you've got an entry pass, especially if they're out there playing hard on the wing, okay? And that's why the spacing is important for that guy to get out of here. But I'm just trying to create a passing angle. Your job is to see the cutter. The guy that catches the pass out there, he must see the cutter first. Now the cutter, let's take that back again. Good, you got the ball. This guy just goes, okay? There's no fakes or anything, because a good defensive player, he kind of figures it out. If that pass goes, he's getting in here trying to get away like that. You're faking over there on the cut. You're not doing anything. You're not faking me. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get to the other side. So just turn it into a track meet. Just go as hard as you can and try to get to that block over there. So guard-to-guard pass, step up, set the screen. There he goes. And turn that up at the end. In other words, you're trying to be a receiver, and a lot of guys do this. They get past the screen, they're running with their head down. They get hit in the side of the head with the ball. See the ball as soon as you make your cut. The pass can still go here. The pass can still go here. And then I'm really posting up. And we get our little guys down there as well as our big guys. We had a point guard named John Gilchrist. He was 6'2", 200 pounds. And if we could get him the ball down there in a block, he was pretty good. So we do that a lot of times. So that's the first basic thing we're trying to do with our offense, is just to see how they cover this. Okay, see how they cover this. So guard-to-guard pass, cutter goes off the screen, look for that, and see, naturally, that's really a good move. You try to get in there to get the basketball. So let me take your spot this time. Okay, let me take your spot. Okay, you're the cutter. Okay, guard-to-guard pass. Set the screen, just give it a half a second, and then I just kind of crab it in there. I just try to crab it in there and try to get that ball right about here. And this is where we get open a lot in our offense, okay, right here. And all that is you have to be patient to set your screen, okay, let the cutter go, and then go. Because what happens a lot of times, give the ball back to him. Come on back over here. Okay, I'll play you. Come on, you'll be the screener again. Okay, so guard-to-guard pass. I'm a good defensive, hold it right there. I'm a good defensive player, so I help a little bit off my man. Now, you see what I did there? You're trying to pin me now by crabbing that in there like that. You don't have to turn, okay, just set your screen where you were. Okay, now just start moving that right foot right up in there. Now get in front of me. Yeah, and you can just get this up here. Get the angle on me. So now what happens if the ball goes in there? I'm going to have trouble covering him, especially somebody big and strong. And so that's what we get most of the time. We want the passer to see the cutter, obviously, but we're really looking hard at that guy, the guy setting the screen. And so that's kind of like a reward for setting a good screen. The better the screen he sets, the more I have to help to cover the cutter, and then all of a sudden we can get the ball inside. Remember, the sole purpose of this, the first couple of weeks of practice, is learn how to get the ball inside. And so anytime we can, whether it's the cutter or the screener, we're trying to look inside. Now these two guys out here, this happens a lot during the game. As I catch the ball, just make the cut, I catch it, I look, he rolls, and I don't see him. Now you got to get in there hard. That's it. See, I don't see him because I get turned like this to make the pass. Well, you can't. That guy's open, you'll see him, you can get him the ball. But what I want to do is I'm looking at him, I see this, and that ball goes in again. And we like to throw the bounce pass into the post. I know that's very debatable, but I've always felt, give the ball back to him, with a big guy, he's here, which is easier to deflect, that pass or the pass that comes into here. I think I can get a piece of that. If that bounce pass is thrown quick with a little spin on it, there's no way I can get it. So our big guys just have to catch the ball. You say, well, the big guys, they have trouble catching the bounce pass. Well, that's their fault, you know. Like, that's the best pass. If you want to score, catch the ball. You know, it's one of those deals. How about if we don't throw it to you if you can't catch it? See? Then they start catching the ball. It's amazing how that works, you know. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Guard-to-guard pass. Good. And we got that. Okay, we got that. And that's a great move right there by the rollback guy. And we talk about that every day until this guy, the guy playing this position here, sees that. So just stay there. Okay, just stay there. You rolled in. Didn't get it. You recovered. Okay, now remember, we've got 5 spots. We've got to fill these spots. This becomes important as you add more stuff into it. So you didn't get it. Right out to that forward spot out there where he was. Up a little higher off the block. You're now the new postman. Doesn't matter if that's your point guard, whoever it is. When we teach this, we interchange. In other words, when we're dummying the offense, all 5 guys get out to these 2 spots. All 5 guys get into those 3 spots. So take a look. This becomes the strong side now. And sometimes we're in too much of a hurry to go back guard to guard on this play because we're always looking, okay, we're always looking for this defensive player playing the post to see what the deal is. Just back it out a step there. Yeah. In other words, if you, with the ball there, as you go to throw the ball back to the guard, because we want to get another cutter, but if you see me like slacking off a little bit defensively, give the ball back here, you might not be able to make this pass in here, but if you throw it to him, okay, now he's got me right here. So we want to take advantage of the triangle, and the easiest way is if, you got to be able to throw a little bit left-handed over here, is to make that pass in there, and you're always leading toward where it's open. You don't throw the ball to the man, you throw it to where he can probably catch the ball with no defense being able to deflect it or anything. So wherever it's open, that's where we want to go. So we're always looking for that, okay? So we're in this position. Any guard forward pass, throw the ball there. You're looking inside. We exchange the offside. Whoa, stay here. Offside exchange. Just take each other's position. And see, that's what that does is get, for us, Gilchrist down into the cutting situation. That's how you get your guard down there. Plus, obviously, we're trying to take away the help they might have on the post here, if we throw the ball in there. So that's what we're looking to do, okay? The rule is any guard forward pass. It's not this guy, it's this position. If I throw the ball, that's a guard forward pass. That means you 2 guys exchange on the offside, like they did. So now we look like this. We might have a big man who doesn't like to come out. Okay, so I kind of play you like here because he's not comfortable playing a guy outside. Like, there's some big men in our league that we like to have to play out in the perimeter. This is how we make them do that. We just flip-flop the offense a little bit. So now we looked, and we don't have anything. Now, the key is the timing on this, okay? You weren't open, give the ball back to the guard. Now, we can make this guard-to-guard pass. We're going to cross the bisecting line in the middle of the floor. On that pass, you step up, set your screen on his guy, that's it, cut, and see, that cut's got to be really good. In other words, here's the angle of the cut. Set the screen for me, I'll take your spot. I'm trying to rub right here, shoulder to shoulder. Now I'm a receiver. As soon as I get by this guy, I become a receiver. I get underneath the rim, keep the ball there. Hey, you got to see the cutter and the screener. See, you can't pass the ball to the forward until you see the cutter and the screener. So now here I come. Okay, I'm looking. I still haven't gotten it, but my guy's trailing a little bit. Now I come up here and park myself right here and try to be a receiver.